Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun! Jax hurried through the bustling corridors of Evergreen University, his backpack slung over one shoulder, lab notes crumpled in his fist. The chemistry building loomed ahead, its glass doors reflecting the late afternoon sun. He was late again, as usual, for his advanced organic synthesis class. Professor Harlan had warned him about tardiness, but Jax thrived on the edge, always pushing boundaries. At 22, he was a senior majoring in biochemistry, driven by a reckless curiosity that often overshadowed caution. His friends teased him about his mad scientist vibes, with his tousled brown hair and perpetual 5 o'clock shadow. Today, he planned to impress everyone by acing the experiment on catalytic reactions, even if it meant skimping on protocols. Inside the lab, the air hummed with the whir of fume hoods and the chatter of students in white coats. Jax slipped into his station, nodding at his lab partner, Mia, who was already measuring reagents with meticulous care. "You're cutting it close," she said, adjusting her goggles. Mia was a year younger, sharp-witted and always by the book, her ponytail swinging as she worked. Jax grinned, shrugging off her concern. "Relax. I've got this. Watch me turn this into gold." He grabbed a beaker without double-checking the labels, his mind racing ahead to the potential outcomes. The experiment involved mixing volatile compounds to observe exothermic reactions, but Jax decided to amp it up, adding an extra catalyst he remembered from a late-night reading binge. As he poured the chemicals, a faint hiss escaped the mixture. Mia glanced over, her eyes widening. "Jax, did you verify the concentrations? That's not the standard ratio." He waved her off, stirring vigorously.
"It's fine. Science is about experimentation, right?"
The liquid bubbled, turning an unnatural shade of green. A spark of excitement lit in his chest. This could be groundbreaking. But then, the reaction accelerated beyond control. Smoke billowed from the beaker, and a sharp crack echoed as the glass shattered. Jax stumbled back, but it was too late. The explosion engulfed him in a cloud of acrid fumes, heat searing his skin. Alarms blared, and the room erupted in chaos. Students scrambling for exits, sprinklers activating overhead. When the smoke cleared, Jax lay on the floor, coughing, his body tingling with an unfamiliar sensation. His lab coat felt loose, hanging off his frame like a tent. He pushed himself up, but something was wrong. His hands looked smaller, delicate, with slender fingers. The safety goggles slipped down a face that felt softer, rounded. Gasps filled the air as his classmates stared. Mia rushed over, her face pale. "Jax! Oh my God, what happened to you?" He tried to speak, but his voice came out higher, smoother. Looking down, he saw curves where there had been none. A feminine silhouette emerging beneath the oversized coat. His jeans sagged at the waist, and his shoes felt too big. Panic surged, but amid the confusion, a strange calm settled in. This wasn't just an injury, it was a transformation. Emergency responders arrived swiftly, ushering everyone out while paramedics attended to Jax, or whoever he was now. In the ambulance, strapped to a gurney, he caught his reflection in a metal panel, long lashes framing wide eyes, soft lips, and hair that seemed longer, cascading in waves. The paramedic, a stern woman named Elena, checked his vitals.
"Stay with us. You've been exposed to something potent. We're heading to the university hospital."
Jax nodded weakly, his mind reeling. The explosion had done more than burn. It had rewritten him at a cellular level. At the hospital, a team of doctors swarmed the examination room. Patel, a geneticist with kind eyes and a clipboard, oversaw the tests. Blood draws, scans, and chromosome analyses followed in a blur. Hours stretched into the night as Jax lay in a sterile bed, the hospital gown feeling foreign against his altered body. Mia visited, bringing a change of clothes from his dorm, but they didn't fit right anymore. "This is insane," she whispered, holding his hand. "They say it's permanent. Some kind of chromosomal shift from the chemicals." Jax, now grappling with a new sense of self, felt a tear escape. But beneath the shock, there was relief, like a long-buried truth surfacing. The next morning, Dr. Patel delivered the verdict in a quiet conference room. "The explosion triggered a rare, irreversible mutation. Your Y chromosomes have been altered to X, effectively making you female on a genetic level. Hormone levels are adjusting naturally, and physically, the change is complete." Jack stared at the mirror they'd provided, seeing Liliana staring back, a name that popped into her mind unbidden, fitting like a glove. She was shorter now, with a graceful build, her features refined and feminine. The medical team offered counseling, but Liliana felt an unexpected surge of acceptance. For years, Jax had felt out of place, uncomfortable in his skin, though he'd never admitted it. This accident, disastrous as it was, felt like a bizarre gift. Discharged after a few days of observation, Liliana returned to her dorm, the space feeling both familiar and alien. Her old clothes hung baggy, so she improvised with a belt and rolled sleeves, but it wasn't enough. Mia insisted on helping. "Let's go shopping. You can't wear that lab coat forever." They headed to a nearby mall, the autumn air crisp as they walked. Liliana's steps were lighter, her hips swaying naturally in a way that felt right. At the clothing store, she browsed racks of dresses, drawn to a burgundy A-line that caught the light. Trying it on, she twirled in the mirror, the fabric hugging her figure perfectly. A cream-colored cardigan completed the look, soft and warm against her skin. "This is me," she murmured, smiling at her reflection. Mia beamed. "You look amazing. Welcome to the club." Back on campus, word spread quickly. Friends reacted with a mix of awe and support. Her roommate, Alex, a laid-back engineering major, helped rearrange the dorm, swapping out posters for something more fitting. "Dude, Liliana, if this is you now, own it." Classes resumed, but Liliana approached them with renewed focus. No more recklessness. She studied protocols diligently, earning nods from Professor Harlan. "You've changed in more ways than one," he said during office hours, his tone approving. She joined a support group for those with unique medical experiences, sharing stories late into the night, finding camaraderie in shared vulnerabilities. As weeks turned to months, Liliana explored her new life. She took up yoga in the campus gym, her body moving with a fluidity she'd never known. The burgundy dress became a staple, paired with the cardigan for cooler days. She experimented with makeup in her dorm mirror, subtle eyeliner enhancing her eyes. Socially, things evolved too. A coffee date with Mia turned into deeper conversations about identity and dreams. "I always felt like something was missing," Liliana confessed over lattes. "No, it's like I found it." Mia squeezed her hand. "I'm glad. You seem happier." One evening, Liliana attended a university poetry reading, her dress swishing as she took a seat. A fellow student, Ethan, struck up a conversation afterward. Tall and thoughtful, with a passion for literature, he complimented her insights on a poem about transformation.
"It's like you lived it,"
he said, eyes sparkling. They walked back to the dorms under starlit skies, talking for hours. Ethan became a friend, then more, their connection built on mutual respect. On their first real date, at a cozy Italian restaurant off campus, Liliana felt alive, her laughter genuine as they shared stories. Challenges arose, of course. Bureaucracy at the university required updating records, a process involving endless forms and meetings with administrators. "Name change to Liliana Rose," she declared firmly in one such session, her voice steady. Family calls were trickier. Her parents, back home in a small town, reacted with initial disbelief, then tentative support after a tearful video call. "We love you no matter what," her mother said, though the words carried a hint of uncertainty. Liliana visited them over break, arriving in her favorite outfit, the burgundy dress flowing as she hugged them at the door. Conversations stretched late, bridging gaps with honesty. Professionally, Liliana shifted her focus. The accident inspired her to pursue biochemistry with an emphasis on safety and ethics. She volunteered at the lab, mentoring younger students on proper procedures. "One mistake changed everything," she'd say, her story a cautionary tale wrapped in triumph. Research opportunities opened up. A professor invited her to assist on a project studying genetic anomalies. Her unique perspective, invaluable. Late nights in the library, poring over journals, she felt purposeful, the cream cardigan draped over her shoulders like a badge of her new self. Socially, she blossomed. A girls' night with Mia and new friends involved trying on outfits and sharing laughs over pizza. Liliana discovered a love for baking, filling the dorm with the scent of cinnamon rolls on weekends. She joined a book club, debating novels with enthusiasm. Her insights deepened by her experiences. One member, Sarah, became a close confidant, their walks around campus turning into heart-to-hearts about self-discovery. Romantically, things with Ethan deepened. They explored the city together, visiting art galleries where Liliana pointed out pieces that mirrored her journey, abstract swirls of color representing change. On a picnic in the park, under blooming cherry trees, he kissed her gently, and she melted into it, feeling seen and cherished.
"You're incredible,"
he whispered, and for the first time, she believed it fully. Yet, not all was smooth. Whispers from less understanding peers stung, but Liliana held her head high, her wardrobe a shield of confidence. She attended therapy sessions, unpacking lingering doubts, emerging stronger each time. A campus event on diversity featured her as a speaker, her story inspiring others. "Change isn't always chosen, but how we embrace it defines us," she said to applause. As spring arrived, Liliana planned a solo trip to the coast, craving solitude to reflect. Packing her suitcase with dresses and cardigans, she drove along winding roads, the ocean breeze invigorating. At a seaside inn, she walked the beach at dawn, the waves lapping at her feet, feeling at peace with her path. Back on campus, a new project loomed, a collaborative research grant that could lead to breakthroughs in genetic therapy. Teaming up with Dr. Patel, Liliana dove in, her days filled with experiments conducted with utmost care. Evenings brought balance, dance classes where she learned to waltz, her dress twirling gracefully. Friendships evolved. Alex introduced her to his gaming group, where she excelled at strategy games, her feminine presence adding a fresh dynamic. Mia confided in her about her own aspirations, their bond unbreakable. One rainy afternoon, while studying in a cafe, Liliana met an old acquaintance from Jax's days, a former classmate named Tyler. He did a double take. "Is that you?" She smiled warmly. "It's Liliana now. Life took an unexpected turn." They caught up, his initial awkwardness giving way to genuine curiosity, reinforcing her growth. Summer brought internships. Liliana secured a position at a biotech firm, her expertise shining. Dressed in professional attire, a variant of her beloved A-line, she navigated boardrooms with poise, contributing ideas that impressed her superiors. Personal milestones dotted the calendar. Her first anniversary of the transformation, celebrated with a small party. Friends toasted to her resilience, the room filled with warmth. As fall returned, Liliana considered graduate school, applications piling up. Ethan supported her dreams, their relationship a steady anchor. But then, during a routine checkup, Dr. Patel frowned at the results.
"There's an anomaly in your latest scans. It might be nothing, but we need to investigate further."
Liliana's heart raced as she left the office, the burgundy dress suddenly feeling like a fragile armor against an unknown threat. What if the transformation wasn't as stable as they thought? Hope you enjoyed the story so far. The rest will be available on Patreon.